this is not Grammy. This is Moose Girl. I am taking Grammy's place this week, so I had to use one of her phrases. Either hi there, ho there. Hey, Flash. How's it going?
Hey, Moose. Good. You?
Good. This is the Dork Table, and we are here, Flash and I, and Moose Girl.
And Grim in the background, hopefully.
Yeah, Grim's helping us broadcast the show today, as per usual. So, yeah, we're here, and dead air. We should be on. There's a little bit of a lag, so hopefully, we're live. So,
well, they'll keep us posted. It was Juana Taco says there's dead air. Let's see.
I see that, but.
Well, I know you saw it because I was. Yeah. I read it. I didn't make it up.
Right.
I'm not CNN.
Thank God. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, her.
Thank the universe.
She made it all better. Okay. Sock says it's running for him. Anyway, go ahead.
I got you fine. You're live on both the RLM radio and Spreaker, so you're good to go.
Good.
Wow.
Sweet.
We have victims.
It is April 8th, 2017, and this is the Dork Table at rlmmedia.com. And we are playing at other things like Spreaker and Freedom's Network and stuff like that.
See you later.
So, I'm just going to go through the chatter list here at the RLM Media chat room. Asmo, Barman, Betsy, Grimnir, Moose Girl, Kate, Chalcedony, Sir, Chloe, Dakota, you, Flash, Ivy Doncy, JJS99, Rob Works, The Prophet, BTC Bob, Dimma, Dim AA. I don't know how to say that one.
Yeah, do your best.
Java Doctor 2, J Dread, Jehovah 1, Wanataco, Kazu, Mbot, Nenson Dubois, North Force, Hone Sauce, Rain, Sock Puppet, Trust No One, Vil, and Phantom.
And
it's only 4 minutes into the show.
I saw the Phantom. Yeah, but me and Mary have a different way of doing it.
I know.
I don't know. We like to disagree about shit, so it's a hard thing to explain to somebody that doesn't really know us.
Right.
You know, because we're one way on the radio, and then we talk before or afterward, and it's a completely different conversation style. But you put us together on the radio, and I sit here and get jacked up with my whiskey and shit, and wow, I've listened to the show last week. It was fun. Well, I had a giggle.
Yep.
So I understand that you're just a little upset.
Well, I have been. I mean, it's just same old. It's just.
Well, what do you think that the purpose of this lifetime war thing is?
Well, we know what it's about. It's about control, and
not everybody
there that they want.
No, not everybody. Some people think it's to keep the towelheads out of Detroit or something.
I don't know. That's not about that.
Well, I know that. Here we go. We're supposed to debate it.
I don't want to debate it. I mean, I'm anti-war. I don't agree. I mean,
that is the debate.
So
because
so babies and children and other people were killed by gas when they blamed it on Bashar Assad. Well, then, so babies were killed, or kids were killed. So this is the reason they do this attack. So how many babies were killed from the attack they did, the retaliation?
There you go.
Well,
I don't know. So it's all insane to me, but.
Yeah, it is.
The idea that the stories get told over and over and over, year in and year out, and they're always lies. So, but this time it's going to be different.
Nope, it's not going to be.
Oh, maybe I should put on my life savings into the central bank as an investment.
Why would you do that?
Because if you can't beat them, join them.
No.
No, but I
You can
got
do that if you want to. You have fun with that, though.
I've got $8 burning a hole in my pocket. And I was just thinking, hey, maybe I should.
I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna invest it in the central bank. Yeah, right. Because I mean, what with all this inflation and all these games these idiots play, your money is worth nothing. Spend all your time paying for gas to go to work.
Yep.
I remember the good old days. I mean, I did it for a while.
That's why I'm thinking about moving to Uruguay and opening or starting a microbrewery.
Tell me about that. Now that would be a wild adventure, like my own.
It would.
Yeah. So is this something that you're like? It's one of those.
They're gonna be 18 in like a year or something, year and a half or something, and it's like, okay, so whatever they do, then I have to decide what I'm gonna do. You know.
Yeah. But what did you say? Uruguay or Paraguay? They all sounded like Uruguay. So you can be a micro beer processor. What would you call it? What would you name it?
I don't know. I could come up.
How about
with
moose
crazy
piss?
Name.
Yeah, moose piss from Uruguay.
Something like that.
Get pissed on moose piss, because when in the UK they call getting drunk getting pissed.
Pissed, right? Yeah.
So
I know.
there you go. That. You could break that.
And you know where that phrase "pissed" comes from?
No, I never really wanted to know.
Really?
I never asked. No,
you
but now that you're going to tell me.
It's a name.
Okay.
And it's this dude, and then there's this building in Belgium, I think. And there's this guy that's like this naked dude on the building, and he water comes out of the area where he would pee.
That's a statue. Okay.
And so
anatomically correct statue that hasn't been banned
from piss.
Wow, what is society coming to? Wow. I mean, haven't they sucked up all the fucking freedom yet?
Right now.
Is there any freedom left that we can enjoy? What would we want? I'd be happy with a
my God.
good source of electricity and drinking water would be a nice start. But we got this shit instead.
Piss and vinegar.
Ooh.
No, it still isn't what I'm looking for here.
Oh, are you going to do a story on the RLM?
No, it's funny because maybe it's in Great Britain, not Belgium.
I don't know. It's all the same to me.
But look it up, people. I don't know.
You seen one foreign fucking country, you seen them all. That's what I think. But I try to live in the ones that they're not bombing in this century.
I could look up piss drunk on Urban Dictionary.
Uh-oh. Wow. Is that what your plan is for the evening?
Absolutely obliterated from drinking it up all night. So drunk you have to take a piss every 5 minutes or so. Right on the borderline of throwing up.
Whoa.
Great.
There you go. There's a goal to have.
Yeah, great.
So now Mary's going to have lots of fun having you down there in Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah.
Well, see, you might as well make some plans, right? You don't have to do anything. Just talk about what you're thinking of, right? And because I want the video rights to the Mary Moose Exchange.
There will be no video.
Ah, man. I had these cameras installed for nothing. Wow. Wow. I'm going to be so disappointed. Oh, well. Back to the drawing board. We'll try something else. Maybe I can get a sketch artist to sit outside the window and draw you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you really serious? Would you go down there and hang out with Mary?
Sure.
Wow. Oh, well, the two of you together is just kind of
Kansas would never be the same. Let's just say that.
Mankind may never be the same.
Maybe.
Well, and then with your plan of your microbrewery, I've never thought about that kind of stuff. I don't make.
The reason I thought of this is because when I went to Puerto Rico the only good beer you could get really was Heineken. And then I went to Jamaica, and they only have like 3 really good non-swag beers, and then the guy told me that I drink man beer. So I'm like, whatever, So I figure Uruguay's got to be kind of similar, where they don't have that good of a selection of beer.
It would be a good thing to check.
And I can make some freaking good beer, and there you go.
But you should inquire first before you decide Uruguay.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you like the name.
Well,
Well, if you've already been to some place where you know it, I can see your side of it. But in traveling, I've never been a big beer chaser, so I don't know. I'm not a big beer drinker. In fact,
like,
right now,
if you go to like Great Britain or Germany, there's like a shit ton of beer, like good beer.
Yeah.
Because they make good beer,
That's right.
So, but you go to Uruguay, and I haven't heard of any beer being made in Uruguay. Have you?
It just cracks me up because South America has never been the first place somebody tells me they're going. Hey, where are you going to go?
Why not?
I don't know why not, because I've never been involved in a conversation with anybody that was planning to go to South America and for any reason to escape the United States government.
Well, like Grim said, there's no oil there, right? So it's, there's no whatever they want.
I don't know. What is there?
Pot is legal there.
Yes. And you're going to sell beer? Pot's legal? Okay. Well, there you go.
Someone's got to make the beer, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I choose to. I don't know. I kind of shy away from it now. If I drink, I lean towards the liquor.
See, I can't drink
beer.
Liquor
Doesn't
anymore.
do. Oh.
Drink just some rum. I can have me a pina colada or something, but that's about as strong as of booze as I can handle.
Oh, so you're a lightweight.
I can't drink vodka anymore. I can't drink tequila.
I think you're lucky though.
Tequila, that's what I call it.
Yeah, but you're still probably lucky.
I mean, no, yeah.
So what is your favorite kind of beer? How do you make your own beer anyway?
It's not that hard. You just have to have the right ingredients and the equipment.
Oh, like a bathtub?
No, you gotta have, I don't know. You have to look it up. I'd have to look it up. But it's not like expensive. It's not. I mean, just to make like your own beer, like at home.
Mm-hmm.
Not like mass production or anything,
Yeah, you've been cooking for for yourself for quite a while. Blah blah blah. So I guess maybe taking on a new hobby wouldn't be that big a deal.
You gotta have the hops and the recipe, and you know what I mean.
And the connections to have them delivered to where you're going to make it.
Right.
The world is really, man, they're clamping down on shit being transported around. If it doesn't go through the government, it's hard to get now. Freight prices are just so.
I never look into all that, obviously, but it's just an idea.
Goodness.
It's not like.
Right, but I mean, I've tried to get things. I've wanted things from America, but it would have been cheaper to buy what I wanted new instead of getting something and paying the extra for freight. Because it's just out of control.
Yeah, I don't need that much,
Well, I lived in a foreign country now, so America's a kind of it's a stretch. You're in it. You can get whatever you want. And that is the one thing that I still to this day think of America being great for, was being able to use your knowledge to acquire things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, some people waste all their time going to school. So that,
you have to do a job. Point of that.
Right. No, I ditched all of it.
Because otherwise you don't freaking... Yeah, you do. Because you don't fucking
have all of it.
On a fucking high school diploma at least. And
why?
You gotta at least have that.
I didn't have one. I never had one.
Times have changed, and you have to have one now. Otherwise, you're going to be working at McDonald's the rest of your fucking life. Well, I mean,
I would just adapt to my time and just figure out how to fix it on the computer. If that was the case, you know, I do not like to play by the system's game rules and all that. Not even a little bit.
I mean, you don't have to do it, but you better fucking have a dang good plan how you're not going to play the system and you're still going to fucking survive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yes and no.
You know, you can't just, you can't get anything for free. Nothing is free.
Who said anything about free? All I said was I don't like to play
free.
the government's games.
No, I know. I get that.
Well,
No, I don't. Does I don't like to play the game, but I have to play the game because I live here, so I have no choice.
Yeah, well,
I was saying the other day when these bombs were fucking flying and shit, and these missiles were flying, that I'm complicit in this sheerly for the fact that I fucking live here.
Pancakes.
So people from other countries, you know, when they say America did something, anyone else from another country on this planet, since I live here, they're talking about me.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, I understand
that
too.
I don't agree with what they're fucking doing. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know, but I live here, so.
Yeah, I saw you making that point on the internet the other day. And
that's how I feel sometimes. But I don't like to dwell on it or anything.
No, but, you know, if something slaps you, I think you should talk about it, get it off your mind, instead of dwelling on it inside your head like some kind of nut job. You know?
I guess there is some years in Uruguay already.
Yeah, but what you were saying about your son's responses to you was the part that was the most interesting of it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's the way you think, and that's why I was like confused.
I try to force their beliefs onto them. I was accused of forcing my beliefs onto them.
But they're not beliefs.
That's what I said. That's what I was trying to say.
What they're spewing, what they're spewing are the results of belief systems. Yes. What you say is the absolute ball-faced truth, and there's really no arguing with it. So, I guess I would expect people to say just that.
It's my fault per se because they had to go to government indoctrination school, and you know what I mean. So
yeah,
they learned what they learned in government indoctrination school, and I've been trying to combat that this whole time.
Wow.
I've been going to these schools.
Yeah. Well, I had some bad times with the school system when I had kids. To take care of
and bullying. Okay, this is all I have to say about bullying. Okay.
Okay.
The schools don't know really how to handle bullying. They don't really know what to do. The way they do handle it doesn't work when they do handle it. The only way to handle bullying and to stop a bully is to punch them in the fucking face. And I'm sorry to say, but that is the only way to stop a bully in school.
I don't disagree with that.
Because if you don't, they just keep doing it. And
yeah,
my son, even he's a junior in high school, and he was getting bullied in gym class or something, right? The teacher saw this going on and talked to him after. Oh, you don't have to put up with that. My son's like, that's okay. I've been dealing with it my whole life.
Wow.
So, right. And I said to him, I go, Zach, you got to do, in order for them to stop, you know what you got to do? You know? I mean, you got to punch them in the fucking face. And I go, if you get suspended for a day for that, I won't be mad at you. That's the only way they'll stop. He had some incident with the hockey team where he ended up hurting a couple kids because he couldn't take it anymore, and he fucking brought the hammer down. You know? The only
kind of.
I mean, it's the only way they stopped, though. When he was getting bullied in middle school or whatever, The only way it stopped, we tried to go through the school and through the counselor and the principal. No, that does not work.
Mm.
The only way to get him to stop is to punch him.
Wow.
Hard.
Okay.
In the face.
Okay.
Or wherever, because then they'll learn that you're not going to put up with it. Then they'll stop and pick another victim.
You have been informed.
I'm just telling you from experience.
Okay.
As soon as Zach started fighting back against these middle school ones, it stopped.
Yeah, well, that's the point of being a bully is you don't get any resistance. That's why you're a bully. If you're a fighter, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah. And they just learned that he wasn't going to just stand, put up with it.
Yeah, bullies aren't looking for a fight. They're looking for attention.
Easy target. Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
And the thing that I've learned too, and this is really fucked up. I don't like this at all. But the thing that I've learned about, grade school and high school and stuff like that, or those times in a kid's life, the ones that get bullied really are the nice people. They're nice people. So basically, what it is like you get bullied for being a nice person. And how is that? How fucked up is that?
That's society at work on you.
Right.
Man.
You get fucked up for being a nice person.
Yeah.
That's like looked down upon to be a nice person. It's
kindness
like, okay,
is weakness.
This isn't computing to me. This doesn't work for me. How is that like a bad looked down upon? Being a nice person or a caring person. And that was just like surprising to me.
Look at everything about
fucking asshole, but it's not okay to be a nice person. It's
look at everything about society. You just
right. It sums it up.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of disappointing when you say it like that, but
and that's why, like with the U.S. being this big old bully, we're just setting ourselves up, dude. Us, them.
Well, yeah.
They set themselves up for retaliation. I mean, right? That's
but
what we were
from
talking
who?
About. The only way to get a bully to stop is do what? Fight fucking back. That's the only way. And that's what breeding. And that's what will start. That's what escalates these things.
But look at what the system is breeding.
I know. I mean,
20 years from now.
I've done my best that I could to combat the indoctrination and the bullshit, and hopefully some of it will stick around, but I've had to combat it, and it is what it is. I did the best I could. I couldn't homeschool them.
No, and still, homeschool or not, I mean, society gets its mitts on you one way or another.
Yeah.
Either you live outside it or you live within it, but one way or the other, there's no way around it except to avoid society.
True.
There you have it.
I mean, but you can be like Grimnir.
What? Avoid society? Yeah. I am like that. I do avoid society.
So what are you saying?
I don't even want to speak the fucking language spoken here because it gives me more of an excuse to avoid conversations with people I don't want to have.
Right. See, I'm the kind of person where I don't mind being out there and talking to people and dealing with it and handle, you know what I mean? Every once in a while you come across a fucking asshole or something, but for the most part, people are all right.
Double yuck. Bullshit.
Oh, well, whatever.
No. If they were all right, why would we be sitting here 2 days after the president changed his fucking mind and decided to do what Hillary was going to do that he wasn't going to do so he could get the job in the first place? Nah, we're being scammed from all sides.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Every fucking level of government and the media and the banking, everything that we depend on, it fucks us up the ass because we use it. And they refuse to give anything else a chance. So we're stuck with this dead fucking animal we're dragging down the road. There you have it.
Beating a dead horse.
Well, I'm not. I'm just watching everybody else do it. But
right.
So me and Sirk got these chairs on the back porch. We just hope we're home for the big, mushroom cloud at the same time. Told her, I hope they don't bomb us in the day if you're in the city. I want to go. Let's go together. Well, I mean, outside of that, there's not much is going to happen to us here where we live. There's nothing
here. You guys
here.
should watch that one movie.
What?
What's it called now? Oh man, I'll have to look it up for you.
Uh-oh.
It's about a different planet like comes really close to the Earth, and basically it's gonna crash into the Earth, so the Earth is done.
Oh yeah, that cool.
But wow. I will look up the name for it.
Yeah, as long as we're living in fear of something, that is what we need to do to feed this beast that destroys us with this lifestyle we have. And it's all got a bunch of glittery, pretty things all over it, and it looks good for a minute here and there, but in the overall, if you stand back with a clear head, it's just a piece of shit that nobody should be bothered with. But we all got to eat, so we do it. Yep. It's terrible. You can't grow your own food. You can't butcher your own cows. You can't.
Well, you still can in some places. I mean,
see, yeah, right. On the 14th floor of my New York City apartment building, I'm gonna grow some tomatoes and butcher a cow.
No, that situation. But
see what I mean? I mean, come on. Well, there's more people living stuck like that than there is living how we live with little space. In the overall right now. The bombers and the people want to be protected from the Muslims and all them. The game players.
It's so ridiculous.
I live amongst them too.
I get like a glaze, my eyes glaze over and my mind kind of goes blank. It's like, I'm just so sick of it. It's just it's numbing.
Okay, microbreweries in Uruguay with your friend.
There's already some microbrews there. See, someone else had the idea.
Well, right, we're in the 20. Well, we're gonna think of something that hasn't been done now. I doubt it.
Right, exactly.
That ain't gonna happen. And all the good stuff is illegal. So, well, there you go.
But there's only there's only 5 of them in that article.
So South America. It's just amazing. A girl from Wisconsin wants to go to South America to run a brewery. It's not your average conversation.
It's not a crazy idea.
I said it's not your average conversation. Wow.
Right, not really, but.
Well, what are you reading the text when I talk like Mary does? I didn't say it was a crazy idea. A crazy idea to me is going to work for Goldman Sachs, or being a stockbroker, or being a lawyer, or even medicine. All that crap, that shit's all fucked up. All of it. Beyond repair. We're so fucked in that area, we'll never get fixed. And that's the shit that runs everything else. Because I am not now on any form of prescription medication. Nope.
That's the thing, Sock Puppet. I don't want to be complicit in this shit anymore. It's like, fuck this.
Yeah. Implied consent. Yeah, but it's implied consent through the government, because by not taking any action, they're implying that you're supporting it. They take that as you're implying I support you because I'm not saying anything against it. Well, it's a trap. If you argue, they shoot you. Look at Kent State. That was the last time people said, hey, we don't want no fucking war. Well, then we'll kill you instead. How do you like that shit? And then all of a sudden, hey, what was it? 4 or 5 more years of fucking Vietnam after that.
Yep.
These people don't care what we think.
No, they don't.
Well, then where does all this support come from? Maybe it's sock puppet
rhetoric, the fucking media. It all comes down to it's a vicious circle. It all works hand in hand.
I'm going to blame Pancakes and Sock Puppet for supporting the government. It's all
Why
your
would you
fault,
do that?
you guys. I don't know because I saw their names on the screen.
Yeah, see.
I don't care. And besides, who's Pancakes and Sock Puppet? I mean, wow, we're not talking about the Kennedys here. Just a couple anonymous names on a screen. They're alter egos because, well, what I know mental, so I know he's a non-war guy.
You can blame Hans and Chloe instead.
Really, Hans and Chloe?
Well,
I think
you're
Hans,
talking about
Hans and Chloe.
You're talking about supporting the state.
See,
so.
there's Hans right now. His opinion is, in the end, people get the government that they deserve.
That's what you got now, according
I
to
don't
Hans.
believe that. I'm not all good with that. I'm not good with that.
I teeter on that because you choose where you're at. Well, you don't agree with that.
That's my point. I'm saying if I don't like being complicit in this shit, then what do I need to do?
Go to Uruguay.
That's what I need.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And I'm for that. I think you should go to Uruguay and be a
or
beer
wherever
maker.
the fuck I go, you know?
Yeah, well, you'd still be.
You know?
Just make sure you got beer, because I think beer makes
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Yeah. It's bullshit. It's lies. Like you said, it's all bullshit.
Well,
I'm just a fucking pawn.
We all are. Wow.
Pawn, you know, and their fucking messed up game.
Right. We all are in some way, whether we know it or not, whether we want to be in it or not. If you're communicating on the internet, chances are good you're playing the game at some level, and playing the game is making the monster.
Have to, and I'm done playing. I don't want to play anymore. And they're not gonna fucking stop.
No, are you kidding? They got this shit down perfect.
It's an agenda, right? Exactly, Sock Puppet. I know Sock Puppet. I know him.
Yeah, I know Sock from the internet, but I mean, like you, I know you from the internet, where
right.
Me and Pancakes,
to each other.
Yeah,
we've talked
more
to each other
personal
instead of just chatting in the room.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
We've had conversation besides just in the chat room.
Yeah, that's what I said about cakes, because we've talked about all the topics, and at the end we just decided, wow, you're crazy. I was kidding. Maybe I'll change my name to Burnt Waffles. Get a new crowd. Because
I don't know, man.
About what?
Changing your name. Have at it, man.
Sock. Oh, come on, man. Wow. He's always got a crack, though. I get a kick out of his sense of humor.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny people, funny and smart people in the Real Liberty Media chat room.
Oh, look, I'm not saying Hans isn't smart. I'm saying Hans isn't correct. He's on a side. He thinks he's going to win something. He's going to get a cookie. Poor guy is going to just end up spending the rest of his life telling other people how they should live. Wow, you win. I don't want to play.
I mean, okay, so this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
Opinions are like assholes, and everyone has one.
Oh.
So, there you go.
What about a platypus?
What about it?
I don't know.
I don't
Funniest damn thing I ever saw. I don't know. You know what? I think myself, I'm a little bit disappointed in this Syria thing at some, inside, not like on the talkative thing. I just stumble through it with words, but yeah, I'm tired of it as well. And leaving the States doesn't stop the information from hitting you however it will. It's going to hit you the same no matter whether
I can handle that. That's not what I said, though. I'm sick of the fucking bullshit, the lies.
Well, you're never going to get anything else. Get comfortable in these lies, damn it.
I mean, I could stay here and, just deal with it. Yeah. What I'm saying is I'm just thinking about options,
Sure. Fuck me. I know all about that. Well, yeah, I've got a brother that's in Wisconsin, I think, or maybe Minnesota. I forget whatever state it is. No, he's in Minnesota, and he's planning to come across the ocean this year, in the summertime. Same thing. He just had America is just not what it's not what we were raised in. It's different now. He doesn't even know how to explain it. But yeah, so he wants to go to the damn UK. Go, wow. Yeah.
That's weird because they're complicit. I mean, that's not any better.
Well, he wants. Well, that's not my business. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm the traveler in the family. And he was the one that was, comfortable and stable, and now he's going to go get a farm in England, not London, but somewhere in England. I forget the city it's called. But the same thing as you. He wants to get away from the American style and go try something different somewhere else, and be close to my mom. So there you go. Well, I did my time in Scotland with her, so now it's his turn, I suppose. Yeah, well, there you go. But the last person I'd ever expected would ever leave America would be him. Yep. According to him, he's out of there like in June or something.
Yeah, Trump owned stock in the company he just helped make $1 billion overnight by bombing Syria.
Wow.
That's Trump. What it says in the chat room. That's a link that someone posted.
Pancakes. Yeah.
Yeah. MP posted it.
Make $1 billion. Yeah, but he just helped make who? Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about money. They don't, like you said, they don't care about people. No. That's the least of their fucking worry.
You should take a few minutes and read that banker's manifesto there on your show. It explains a lot of what's been going on since back then and still to this day.
You feel like reading there, Moose? It's right above. Okay, it's right under pancakes.
I see it.
Like a pancake sandwich between. It's Grimner. But
this was revealed by U.S. Congressman Charles Lindbergh from Minnesota before the U.S. Congress sometime during his term of office between the years of 1907 and 1917 to warn the citizens. So it starts out, we, the bankers, must proceed with caution and guard every move made, for the lower order of people are already showing signs of restless commotion. Prudence will therefore show a policy of apparently yielding to the popular will until our plans are so far consummated that we can declare our designs without fear or any organized resistance. The Farmers Alliance and Knights of Labor organizations in the United States should be carefully watched by our trusted men. We must take immediate steps to control these organizations in our interest or disrupt them. At the coming Omaha Convention to be held July 4th, 1892, our men must attend and direct its movement, or else there will be set foot such antagonism to our designs as may require force to overcome. This at the present time would be premature. We are not yet ready for such a crisis. Capital must protect itself in every possible manner through combination, conspiracy, and legislation. The courts must be called to our aid, debts must be collected, bonds and mortgages foreclosed as rapidly as possible. When through the process of the law, the common people have lost their homes, they will be more tractable and easily governed through the influence of the strong arm of the government applied to a central power of imperial wealth under the control of the leading financiers. People without homes will not quarrel with their leaders. History repeats itself in regular cycles. This truth is well known among our principal men who are engaged in forming an imperialism of the world. While they are doing this, the people must be kept in a state of political antagonism. The question of tariff reform must be urged through the organization known as the Democratic Party, and the question of protection with the reciprocity must be forced to view through the Republican Party. By thus dividing voters, we can get them to expand their energies in fighting over questions of no importance to us. except as teachers to the common herd. Thus, by discrete action, we can secure all that has been so generously planned and successfully accomplished. There you go. That's it.
Pretty much sums it up, but in a cleaner way of speaking than we use now.
Yeah.
Right. But
I don't like that word reciprocity.
It was all in a secret meeting, though, so.
Right.
Not secret anymore. Some people figured it out without even the proof that there ever was a meeting. I mean, look at the results around you. It's kind of simple, I think.
Yep.
So now we have the consensus is we've all been had. Okay. Well, what is there to do about it, though?
Move.
I already done all that, so I'm pretty much. And I told Cirque,
Well, there's nothing you have to do. It's not your problem.
Well, sure it is. I got family.
Really.
I've got children. I have
Okay,
offspring that are so indoctrinated that they're beyond help. So yeah, I've got a stake in this. Of course I do.
Okay. Right.
But this is radio, not life. But there's some people that no matter what you say to them, they do not understand the point you're trying to make. They feel attacked. And I happen to be related to a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, even my own kids, dude.
Yeah, and until my brother listened to links of the Dork Table I'd sent him through the email, he wasn't so much leaning our way. He was more the other way. And he's saying, wow, maybe I have been wrong about certain things, which is good enough for me.
That's cool.
Because it's all a personal decision. People seem to think that there's some kind of physical action you need to take, and that's not the case. It's just a mental state. And if enough of us were in it, being normal would be nonviolent. And what we have today is being normal is being a fucking schizophrenic lunatic that wants to wear the opposite gender's clothes in public toilets. And that's the new normal.
I don't give a shit about that.
Right, but it fucking upsets the balance of society whether you give a fuck about it or not. When you take an obscure fucking thing that is bizarre and you make it common and everybody does it, it becomes the new normal, and it upsets the balance of what should be done.
I don't like that word normal, for one thing. Normal normal does not fucking exist.
It does to me.
There
I
is
have
no
a normal.
Fucking normal.
I'm smoking my pipe, drinking my whiskey, talking to you on the internet, and that's perfectly normal.
There's no normal.
I just made one.
That's a non-word. It doesn't exist.
I just created one. I'm happy with it. Now what?
You can be. Good for you.
Aha! See? Told you. But it's still, it's a matter of, Moose, to me, it's what decision you make internally, and your outward actions will follow what your mind thinks. Like, I'm a nonviolent guy, so when I go out in the street, I don't go around punching at people and calling them names. I just go on my way, mind my business like most of them. And keep my eye out for the guy that's sweating profusely, wearing a fucking hoodie in 90-degree weather. He may be up to no good. Everybody else, I don't really care about.
It's good to be observant.
Yeah, I call it aware, and you see so much. I'm getting to the age now where I see the young women walk by with the kids in the baskets, what do you call them, the buggies? They call them a different name in every country, but I don't know what they call them here. But, they'd be pushing their kid and the sun's out and they got the kid sitting up looking at shit. And I find in my older days, I'm getting a giggle out of that now. Seeing a little kid smile for no fucking reason just because it's alive. And, the little things in life are now pleasurable. So I don't know what I would attribute it to. Maybe just getting calmer as I aged. Getting out of that instant coffee mood thing that I was in.
Yeah.
Because I lived in a place where I could get a pizza at 4 o'clock in the morning if I wanted one, you know, and now there's no way. Money does not get you what you want in this town.
They roll up the sidewalks here at sundown.
Yeah, and right, and I grew up laughing and making fun of these things, Grim, and today I'm living it and finding it pleasurable.
It's nice.
So I grew up in the wild streets of LA, and things were different then. I'm not even sure how I made it this far. But yeah, they roll up the streets. Well, they're doing. There's a lot of building going on, or not building, but.
I gotta go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
All right, but
Okay.
not a lot of. But there's a noticeable amount of construction going on in the downtown area and remodeling. Now that it's spring, so financially, the area I'm living in is functioning. On the banking thing, I don't know. I think we're all getting fucked on that shit. But on the surface, people are having normal, routines and daily lives, and the game continues to go on. But I don't really know what they're expecting it to be, or
Okay, I'm back.
what they're. Oh, she's back, or what they're hoping for. I think wouldn't they have another false flag in Sweden yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Was that
Well,
yesterday?
I don't know. I don't know how much of a false flag it was. Somebody stole a big beer truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, somebody stole a big beer truck. Let me paraphrase that correctly. And ran it through a crowd of people, and then there was another guy with a gun shooting. I didn't really get the clear story, the clear view of what was going on there, and they said they killed 4 people with this truck. I don't know if the shooting guy killed anybody.
Right, but did they blame the terrorist thing again?
Well,
I don't know.
as far as I know, they didn't blame anybody yet because they said it was terrorism for sure, but they didn't say they didn't give names or the reasons behind it as of yet.
Well, Cirque says that particular city in that particular country has lots of weird shit always going on in that one place. So, she didn't believe it.
Where, Stockholm?
She's lived here her whole life, so that's what she's familiar with. So I went, okay. It would be like, I don't know, a bad place in LA I'd be familiar with that. If you didn't grow up in LA, you might not know where it was or that it was there at all. And then you read something in the newspaper, and all of a sudden you're an expert on, Cudahy, California, because somebody got shot there. Blame the terrorists because, by God, they got all the bullets.
Just stay out of Norwalk and Compton and.
I was born shit. I was running Norwalk. My father used to tease me, but kind of drop me off at the Norwalk State Mental Hospital to go live there. Yeah, it scared the fuck out of me one afternoon. I was making fun of him or about something. And he said, "You know what?" And he pulls up right to the front gate. He says, "You can go live there now." I went, "No, I don't want to go." But yeah, Norwalk. Geez, there was a lot of fun cities around there. Cerritos.
It's fun, yeah, fun.
Downey. Whittier. Oy vey. Talk about fun. The suburbs of Los Angeles were a kick in the 70s. And then I used to drive my mom and dad nuts because I'd be out hitchhiking around L.A. and all the news people were reporting all these serial killers, killing kids, killing girls, and killing hookers. And I'd be out there hitchhiking around all the time. Never killed me, obviously. But bugged them a little bit.
Yeah, I used to hitchhike all the time, too. I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, I've told Cirque a lot of this mass murders and killer-diller bullshit is they're cover-ups for the Bushes and the Kennedys. Hey, man, we got to come up with a good story. This girl got killed in an apartment building in Downey. Hey, let's go create us a serial killer. And as the years have gone by, what I've seen of MSN, I'm pretty sure I was right.
There's some crazy fucks out there.
Yeah, but come on, Jeffrey Dahmer, really? Are you serious? Nah. Charlie Manson? Nah. Bunch of shit. Ted Bundy? I think these guys were just failed actors that were willing to cover up for a Kennedy.
About Gacy? You think Gacy was real?
Yeah, Gacy. Oddly enough, I tell her about that. I go, wow. Of all the bullshit stories I've ever heard, the only one that I can find any real belief to is the Gacy thing. Because he was connected in the Democratic Party and, small business, and he was active in his community, but his house smelled like a sewer shithole. And, of course, as it turns out, he had a few guests staying free of charge in the basement. Wow. So, but that was so bizarre and sick that it was believable. But the Ted Bundy and, what's her name? That Warnos. Things like that. Manson. It just seems over the top. Too much. I mean, I've been around a lot of people in my life, and I've seen people mad enough to go out and do wacky shit. But yeah, smoke another joint, they talk them out of it. You don't want to go shoot your wife. It's not that bad. Tomorrow's another day. But here we are in this world where every time you change the TV channel, you see another murder.
True.
Yep.
Okay, I lived in the same neighborhood for the most part of my first 16 years, and I don't remember anybody getting murdered, ever. I remember accidents or overdoses, but nobody got shot, stabbed, nobody got their house broke into, and they woke up, they didn't wake up, they were in a big puddle the next morning. But I was reading about it, but never where I lived. So I started to wonder about, maybe we're just getting duped. Maybe that what's his name? Bill Clinton was out there. Remember when he had all those heart problems from eating too many Big Macs?
Yeah.
Well, that turned out to be kind of phantasmagorical, didn't it?
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe he, I mean, who knows what happened with that, because he probably did have some heart problems, considering the life he led.
Yeah, but do you really believe? Come on, you think that man ever put a McDonald's Big Mac in his mouth?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Ooh, disgusting. A millionaire eating that shit?
He put a Monica Lewinsky in his mouth, so is a Big Mac really a stretch?
Well, Jewish soul food and junk food. Yeah, to me it is. Yeah. Because I've eaten good food, and I'm telling you, the difference between good food and McDonald's is two worlds apart. Why would you do that? They were just covering his coke habit. He never ate no hamburger. No, that's just too much for me.
He's a good old boy from Arkansas.
Yeah, and I'll bet you that it was Hillary that was taking the snapshots of him and Monica anyway. She was behind the camera.
Probably.
Who knows?
Sick games go on there, but
it's a little late to start a rumor, but hey, I got into the game late. Have you seen Bill? Bill looks like David Rockefeller to be already.
Oh yeah, he looks like walking death.
Yeah, those pictures, they're all red-faced and what's the right wording for that? I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, thin, right? Just unhealthy looking, right?
Yeah.
Like they could use a real meal and a night's sleep. and they're the people. That's the face of power. Good Lord. That's what people want to be.
Scary.
Yeah. I don't want to be them. I'm happy being a long-haired, bearded, short hippie guy. I don't want to be a Bush or a Clinton. But if I ever change my mind, I'll give you 30 days notice so you can replace me on the Dork Table.
Okay.
It's the Dork Table is your creation. If you decide to wander off, so does the Dork Table.
No, actually, it's been a joint, group thing. I've never really thought of it as mine, because I do it with other people. Vince helped me, Moose has helped me, you've helped me. Everybody that's been available when there was a hole to fill found a reason to fill it. Keep the damn stupid table going, and we might get another laugh out of him. Who knows? 'Cause I'm telling you, last week I listened to the replay and I was laughing at the end at whatever we were talking about. I don't remember it, and I don't even know what it was about to tell you back, but I know it would made me giggle. So I thought, wow, my little contribution to the society that I just hate is a laugh in their face, about what they're doing and why they do it. It's insane. And they got us all conned. I mean, it's a good story, but after 50, 60 years, if you really look at it clearly it's just my opinion, but I think I'm right at this point in life. When I was younger, I didn't give a shit. Didn't even fucking matter. And here I am now, and I'm thinking, well, now I've got a little time behind me, and I've seen enough to make a valid opinion about the things I saw. And not just, I like the color blue, so I'm going to go with that. But the truth of the matter is X, and I've accepted it. Like the slave thing.
Lost track of you there.
Well, you can't live in a society without participating in it at something. You're going to trade, or you're going to work, or you're going to own whatever your game is. You're going to do it, and you participate in the big whole because of it. The only other option I've ever been able to figure out was the desert or maybe a mountaintop somewhere, and I don't like the outdoors that much. I like my frothy fucking Danish coffee in the morning,
I don't blame you.
Right. So because of that, I've given up my freedom to go be a clean living person, and now I'm just another part of the machine.
An outlier, yes, but still part of the machine.
Yeah, exactly. Like Moose. I mean, fuck. I would like to not play, but I cannot find a comfortable way to fucking live, and that would afford me both daily existence and comfort at the same time, the way I want them. So I compromise. Do the inside thing with the electronics and make the best of it. Because this is the side that's supposed to look good, but there's a certain amount of, I don't know what the right word is for, my experience in the outdoors has been as pretty cool. Big lighter and a blanket. See if you can last the whole night through, and maybe some water, or at least something to put water in if you got to go look for water.
Hey, you could build yourself a little lean-to or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I've done things like that in my life to see if I could survive them. And now that I know I can, I don't need to look anymore. So now it's more of a backdoor. My experience says, well, I can handle myself. But my reality says at this point there's no reason to.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listening to that war thing kind of gets me worried, because I've been through a few things like hurricanes and earthquakes, and my experience with that is it brought the best out of everybody to be, we need each other to survive this.
Okay.
Without talking,
Here's a not too outrageous possible future scenario. They're trying to eliminate cash all around the world, right?
Right.
Yes.
And what they want to do is to use digital in some way or another. At this point, with like cell phones or things like that. But that, of course, will wind up being a problem when all of your money is on your cell phone, and a lot of people wind up having their cell phone stolen, and so they'll obviously switch to some kind of implanted device upon you in order for you to either sell or buy anything, pay bills, all those kind of things.
Right.
So at that point, are you just going to go ahead and say, yeah, go ahead and plant my ass? Or are you going to try and, uh, because the only possible way at that point may be to live out in that lean-to.
Yeah, no, I've given that a little bit of thought, but I know Cirque pretty well by now, and I don't. Cirque is not the type of person to go willingly and do something that is against her nature. Let's say that. So if it came down to that, I see me and her leaving and going somewhere where it wouldn't be a problem. Now, on the other side of that, if she goes all wishy-washy and decides to get chipped, I'll probably stay with her, take care of her, because that would prove she was insane and needed help.
Well, but okay,
if, know,
but if she gets chipped, are you going to as well?
No, fuck no. No. No, I told him, dig a hole in the fucking backyard, just push me in it and cover it up. I ain't doing any of that shit. Take me to jail, do whatever. No, we are not compliant. Nope. But, there you have that. And I don't think Cirque is either, so. But if she ever flip-flopped on me and went digital, I'd just probably try to take care of her as best I could, because her mental state would be completely gone at that point, I think. I mean, the way I look at life, I think if you're willing to do that, you're completely fucking insane, and the chip ain't going to help anything.
Well, right, but the bulk of the people will go ahead and readily accept that, just out of the convenience factor. That, I mean, people, you can see everything that they do now that allows them to be tracked and traced and monitored in everything that they do, because it's convenient. So there will be a large portion of the folks out there that will just go ahead and accept whatever it is, whether it's a chip or a tattoo or a barcode. Yeah.
No, I agree with your premise. I don't disagree with it at all. I just think that I'm so far out of that control thing. Hell, I don't like people telling people what time it is, because, hey, get yourself a fucking watch. What am I, your clock? Just that for that split second, it's like, what do I look like, a timepiece to you? Leave me alone. So, no, putting a chip, no, never going to happen. Just not like that. But Cirque said, who said I didn't get chipped already?
Potato chips don't count.
Oh, jeez. So now I got my wife fucking tooling me on the radio show. Wow. I guess I should be able to take a giggle. But you did ask, and would you? I don't think you would do it. Would you, sir? Are you chippable?
Me? Are you talking to me?
I said, sir, and you're the only other guy here. I wasn't talking to myself.
No,
I was being a smartass. But
absolutely
really,
not. No way in hell.
No.
No.
I know.
And
their jails don't scare me.
I wouldn't mind living out in a cave somewhere. I'd be fine in a cave.
Yeah, just adapt. Human beings are the most incredible fucking thing on the planet. We can adapt to anything. If you give us enough time and leave us be to think, most of us do pretty good. It's the slow ones that have to have everything fucking explained to them like a bunch of dumbasses.
10 times.
Follow me. I know the ones that just latch on to somebody that's going there already, and then they just follow because they couldn't get there alone. And I don't feel a part of that crowd.
Cirque, so funny. Yeah.
She's inviting him to the RL&M with Grimner and Moosegurl. Did you post the Freakers Ball up yet?
So
yeah, it's all.
Good.
The blog, the podcast blog thing.
Yeah.
Blog.
The show.
Yeah.
I slept in today, so I missed it.
Yeah, we can find a link here. I'll get you that link.
Oh, I'll get it. I just hadn't looked because we've been chatting on the RLNM and said I don't like to open up too much stuff and push my luck. I'm really unlucky with button pushing. I play some damn video or something that's screaming loud, music or whatever. And I did that once, but it only came through on my headphones. So once. Living in a cave. Let's see. So we've got Moose is going to move to Uruguay and open a microbrewery, and Grim is going to go live in a cave and root for the meteor.
Well, Sock Puppet, if it comes down to the point of either being chipped in order to sell or buy or pay bills or get gasoline or whatever,
that's not free market anymore.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else you do, but a cave sounds all right. I don't mind caves.
Yeah. I got a couple of axes and a file.
Okay.
I could build something. Yeah, there's lots of trees.
Yeah, I got machetes and hatchets and sure.
I know, and
cutting implements.
Moose was saying earlier she has a lot of weapons, and I was just thinking they were tools. Weapons. Mm.
Weapons? Tools or weapons?
Yeah.
Weapons or tools?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I just think of the whole fucking bag as just tools. Just depends on the job you're trying to do. Whether it's a gun or a mallet, it's still just a tool.
Right.
Like, remember the old days when people thought I was against guns? Good Lord, that was a hard one to explain.
What was that?
What were you?
Well, back when I was on World Truth with Mary and Cirque, and I was I'm not for or against guns for you. I'm against guns for me because, like, right now I'm having a couple shots through the radio show, smoking a little pipe, and I'm so unpredictable when I get too fucked up drinking that I might pick up a gun and just see what will happen if I do this. So no, I've been trained to avoid them.
Well,
for my own safety.
I used to think that too, that I would, have some kind of fear of having a gun because of the terrible thing that I might do.
Yeah.
But I bought a gun, just a shotgun. It's not like a pistol or anything, but whatever. I bought a gun. I don't know what it's been, like 8 years ago now, and it sits right here behind me all the time.
Yeah,
I've never loaded it.
Well, yeah. Well,
so,
can I give you a little advice? Maybe you might want to get a thing about cleaning it too, because if you've been sitting there that
I do.
if you need to load it,
I do clean it on occasion. I bought a cleaning kit
okay.
when I bought it. I bought a
bad
nice
advice
thing there. So and I've got an extra barrel too. The one that came with it, because I bought a shorter barrel. I wanted the whatever. It came with like a 27-inch barrel. I bought the 18.
Yeah, well, maybe it changes the vibration of your living situation. So when predators come around, they go, "Hey, there's a shotgun in there with a bear. Fuck it, I ain't going to the other house."
Yeah, no, it's there, and I've got tons of ammo too. So
yeah. See, and again, that's for you. And then here I go, and here I get hooked up with Cirque, and Cirque's about as in love with guns as I am. She could care less. So there's no real attraction to it here for me. And even when I lived with people that were all in love with guns, I didn't want to go shooting. And I don't want it. I've got a bowl to fill here, man, and a couple of video games. Leave me alone.
Well, I just figured in case the zombie apocalypse ever comes around, I'm set.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Come on, man. I can't wait. The zombie apocalypse.
Ain't nothing better than a 12 gauge to get them zombies.
So when I walk to the like, say, the train station, maybe I want to go get a pack of smokes or whatnot. Have I ever mentioned that all the young people are all stuck on their cell phones. Every one of them.
You have.
It's pretty much like that where you're at then, huh?
No, not here, not in this town.
Oh, you don't have any young ones?
Well, no, there are. There's a high school and there's families and stuff like that, but they're not all walking around the street. It's actually pretty rare you see people walking up and down the road.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, the small town. Yeah, small town with the long rides. I forgot. Yeah,
but it's Route 66. That's our main drag. So.
Yeah. Well, they've got people here, instead of hooked on personal cars, they got them hooked on public transportation. And their service is not, it's not the best that there could. It could be better, from what I've seen, through my experience. But I don't use it, so I don't really care. But my wife uses it, and wow, sometimes they fuck that shit up really good.
No, there is no public transportation here.
Yeah, I was like that in Jacksonville. Jeez, I had to walk everywhere. If I want, unless I wanted to ride with a car, but no. Something happened to me about, 10 or 15 years ago, and I just started walking places. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, taking a 2-mile walk somewhere that's not a big thing. It's like, oh, okay. And I've been but I was like that in Jacksonville, and everybody I knew said, don't you ever want to ride? Can I give you a ride home? No, I'm fine, thank you. You're going to walk? Yeah. And it seems like, I'm probably one of, everybody does it here, but back home, no, it wasn't popular.
Okay.
I've got a boring life. Grim, I've tried to tell you guys. Oh man, all this excitement everybody else lives in, I miss it all. I just don't know where it's all at. There's not even a terrorist in this house. Nothing. Empty. I'm telling you, my cat, Dr. Cooper, sees more action than I do, this fucker. He's out getting beat up in the street. He come back with a bad leg the other day. Hopping in the house like I used to once upon a time. Yeah, now there's nothing left to fight.
And no reason to do it.
Well, there's never a reason. Come on. I think it's I don't know. Maybe it's a taste that was nurtured in me as a young guy, and I got a taste for it. I liked it. And then I outgrew it somehow. I don't know. I passed beyond it at some point in my life. And I narrow it down to the late 80s, that violence just, it would at one point made me feel good to go out and get into some shit. And then the late 80s, I thought, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. That's ridiculous. But I don't know what the original thought was, but that was the end result. Nah, fuck all that. It's crazy. And now, look at me. Oh, well, anyway. Well, I mean, it's such a turnaround to be a married guy in 2017 and think that life is good.
Okay.
Well, when I say it, most of the people I know that are close to me go, wow, you got to brag about that all the time. I don't know what else to say. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I like what's going on with life. And I don't think it's because of Denmark or any of that horse shit. But, I've made the best of wherever I was. The people were always good to me. So I've always had a good time. The place I was at wasn't all that. It was incidental. Right. I was more interested in good weather if I could get it. But I like the North, too. Like where Moose wants to go, I've never been to South America. I don't think I've ever wanted to purposely go to South America or be kidnapped and taken to South America. But everything I've read about it was, as far as weather and what's there, it was someplace I might have paid more attention to. I would have gone to it. But there's so much else that had my attention at the time that never really got into South America.
Yeah, I've never been down there either.
I've never been there either, so.
Boy, was that a dorky way to say that, or fuck? Wow. Huh? Well, people can do anything that they believe they can do. This is my opinion from my experience in my life, and then looking at everybody else. Because some of the shit that people do is just fucking unbelievable. You know, the buildings and the crap that they make, the things that they think of, the ways that they use the elements to make life simpler, like the electricity and such. You know, but if we got served a better grade of electricity, oddly enough, all these social problems we have would dissipate.
Okay.
Well, you're not a great believer in the wavelengths and the what else would you call it? The atmosphere around you that you can't see. I believe in now that all these things that we're surrounded by at a level we don't really know we're looking at dictate the shit that we can see.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me this. Sure, I believe in the frequencies and the effects, and everything is obviously runs on a frequency. But when you were living here in the good old U.S. of A., the electricity you were being served up was at 60 hertz. But now you're in Europe, and it's 50 hertz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you pick up any difference there?
Well, the difference is both 50 or 60 are equally wasteful. The way I understand what I asked the questions to a guy that said he knew the answer, he said that the proper cycle would be 54. In 50 and 60, both equally create a waste that creates all the side effects that we physically go through. The thinking and the doing and the voting and the decisions and all this crap that we're inundated with is a direct result of the 50 and 60 cycle that we use. And I think that's a whole lot better explanation than Jesus was hung on a cross. But, that's just me. Well, I'm not an atheist. I lean more towards agnostic. But, as far as a belief system to have, I would lean towards more the mental, but not the phantasmagorical mental, but the science mental.
Well, the whole Jesus was hung on a cross thing only works for maybe 25% of the global population.
Right.
I don't know. Well,
I mean you got all of China. That's the hugest part there, and India.
Yeah.
And they're not worried about Jesus and a cross. They care less about it.
Well, I'm really bad with religious expression. I was just throwing shit at the wall to see what would stick. And what I think all the religions are all ridiculous. All of them. Jewish, Muhammad, all that fucking nonsense. But I have the good taste to not tell a religious man to his face, I think you're living in la la land there, sport. And, it seems to make me happier. I don't get into the God argument with anyone. But personally, I don't know. Just doesn't really make any sense. But then the science stuff, some of it, they take so far that you would need to think you have some education to understand what they're talking about. That's too far in that area. There's a simple way to explain what you see and how you receive what's given to you. And then there's details like, well, we're not going to give you a good quality of electricity. You're going to get this shit that creates all these problems. They leave that part out of the explanation.
Okay.
I believe that Edison and all those guys from the early 1900s that had all their play in the electric business, they did this on purpose to make money.
So you think they understood the effect of frequencies upon humans at that point?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I think Larry Woods, I had him on the show a few times, and I'd always pick on him about energy sources, blah, blah, blah. And he's got a lot of knowledge about the pyramids. And I got to poke at him a little bit and get some of that information. And when you sit down and think it through, what we have today is the possibilities are all hidden behind. We're fighting to keep what we have, so we can't look any further. When they're hiding hemp and they're hiding free electricity from us.
Okay, I'm trying to.
I believe they've
dots.
had the answers since they figured out how to hurt us up and do this shit to us.
Okay, so he has a lot of information on the pyramids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he told me stuff he had memorized, stories that he'd been familiar with. But just like anything else, if you dig deep enough, you dig deeper than the guy that first got you interested in it, you're going to find what you're looking for. And I wanted an answer that made sense to me, so I made one.
All right.
But it makes the system that I live in look complicit in a crime, like Hal would say.
So who built the pyramids?
You know what? There you go. That's a Larry Woods specific right there, not me. I think they're in Egypt, so I would say.
Well, there's pyramids all over the place.
Yeah, they're in China. They're in Mexico. Anyways, what really are you asking?
Well, I mean, because you're talking about basically the ultimate knowledge of understanding how whatever it is has the effect upon humans based upon structures such as the pyramids because of the design, the layout, the orientation of those structures. So who built them and what did they know and why don't we know that any longer?
Okay, who is the mystery to me? I couldn't give you the specifics on that, but I would go as far to say that the modern day man in control of anything doesn't want those unleashed on people. He doesn't want people to know that.
Cirque has the answer right there. She's so straight to the point. The pyramid builders built them.
There you go. Da 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 da. Well, okay, but see, that inspires my mind more than an old book about mythical figures that may or may not have existed. This isn't, there's a physical thing left behind. And of course, me and you couldn't just walk there and, hey, let's go check it out and see. No, they've got tours, and I'll bet they've got it all split up so you can't see this and you can't see that. Because that's how our modern day society seems to operate. I mean, I've read stuff about, what's that? The Washington Monument, the tall thing looks like a big dick in Washington. That they've got the top floors blocked off to the public so that they will not see what was etched into the granite or the walls, whatever they were made of, by the builders.
And what's at the top of the Washington Monument?
It's some kind of a blinking light. I don't know, but
the top of the Washington Monument is a pyramid.
A pyramid.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there you go. Well, see what I mean? I'm not real experienced and knowledgeable in this area. This stuff's all, the last few years I really took it to heart seriously. And, the rest of it was playtime while I was smoking, hanging out with people and talking about whatever came up in the conversation. And now I've got, like Cirque. Cirque knows. Well, maybe she doesn't know, but we agree on what we think we know. And we even agree, we just think we know shit because, been lied to so much. How much of it is even real? When you start tearing it apart and making it smaller and smaller, it's a pile of shit at the end of the conversation. You can't tell one word from the other.
Right.
Simple building, Stonehenge, reloaded by only one white man.
Now, in your conversations with Larry Wood,
Yeah,
did you
I
have
like Larry.
did you talk about Crystal Castle?
Yes, Coral Castle.
Coral Castle,
in
whatever.
Holmes.
Yeah.
I actually been there myself.
And so that guy obviously knew the tricks, right?
Yes, he did. And
And
it all balances on. Yeah, again, he had some kind of electronic thing he built, some kind of coil, like Larry talks about his coils.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla. Lead Scoutin built his own. They have it in the building, but when you go on the tour or go look at the place, if you're not really pointed to know what you're looking at, you don't know to look for stuff. But it comes back to you later, and you think, "Oh, I saw that fucking thing."
Well,
because I've seen.
They may have the device, or at least one or some of the devices, but they don't know how to use them.
Well, there you go. See, that's why the pyramid stories that Larry speaks of are so enticing, because there's something beyond knowledge. There's an application, okay? Something that you need to know to make something work. Are you mechanical? You sound like you've messed with mechanics, right? You've built
Sure.
things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
okay, so there's basic logic and reason behind these things. So there's a formula to it, but there's a piece missing that we don't even know exists. We weren't raised with it, so we don't know to look for it. And they hide it from us. It's a magic trick. Society's meant to slow us down so we'll continue to just deal with what they'll allow us to have.
Right, and that's why they try and paint it bad, and they
Yes.
they say, "Oh, that's the occult," as if it's something evil.
Yes, exactly.
Occult only means hidden.
Exactly. That's okay. I agree with you. I would think there'd be a lot more people, that were on the RLM that saw the side of the coin you're looking at and would say, "Yeah, I see that." Even if they didn't agree with you, just recognizing is a good start. Because fuck, I mean, if everything we do is based on a lie. The food processing, the water delivery, the electricity, all the basic necessities that you need as a human being to survive on have a price. And when I argue about that, people go, "You're a fucking communist." And I think, wow, you got some Bill of Rights that says you have the right to speak your mind, but not a right to eat a meal every day. You don't need to speak your mind, but you sure do need that fucking meal. Which one's more important?
I guess it depends on the time of day, whether.
Okay. You got me on that, because sometimes I'm not hungry, but I want to call this guy an idiot.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right, but in the overall, what really matters to me, it's nice to have the ability to speak my mind, but I could live without that. I cannot live without food.
Right, not for long.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, you're looking at things as from a perspective of today, of modern life on this planet. But let's say you were living 150 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
pre-electricity, pre-cars, pre-airplanes, and you would have everything you needed, right? You wouldn't have any. I mean, all those people survived. Well,
Small community, yeah. It was of course, you needed your neighbor. You didn't want to go kill the guy because his dog shit in your yard. You needed that guy because he had a chicken and he traded you eggs for blah, blah, blah. The milk your cow gave, blah, blah, blah.
So we're talking about a tiny slice of history. We're only going back 150 years.
Oh, yeah.
Out of how many thousands of years have humans
Who knows?
been around and surviving on this planet? Many thousands of years.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
for all of that time, people were fine until these inventions came along.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm see that's what I mean. As I see that in an intellectual way, I see that in one light. In a greed bone way, where I want my fucking coffee with the frothy milk and how Cirque makes it, then my greed bone takes over and go, fuck it, I want the frothy coffee. But my core, my instinct is I don't need that fucking coffee. But I'm on a razor's edge. It pleases her to do it, and it makes me fucking happy as fuck to drink it. I think going without it would be kind of stupid. But see, any direction you want to take that with, you can go in. Yeah. And is it ego, or is it my wife's doing something for me and I want to appreciate it? There's all those underlying little things that we don't very often talk about them in public. Where you want your friends and the people that you're close to, you really want them to be happy. You don't want them to be arguing and yelling and screaming. You want them to be happy people. Have a good time and eat some cake and drink some coffee, shit like that. But it seems that the world we're in doesn't make that a point.
No, pretty much not. It's mostly selfish endeavors.
Yeah. Like what I get out of your Freakers Ball is a little bit of time to hear you and Moose giggle about nothing in particular, have some fun, play some music, relax a little bit.
That's the point.
Right. Well, okay. There you go. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I understand what you're doing. And that's the way I understand it. Well, other people may not understand it in that light. Maybe they need to have it told to them that is even what you're trying to accomplish. Who knows? Preconceived notions and such, knowledge and information makes you believe things that aren't always true. It happens to me. I'm not the only one. I just narrowed it down to the big things don't fool me anymore. Now it's just little things that don't matter. They're unimportant. Right, like remember when you said, well, if a guy tried to hit you for $10 and if I had it in my pocket, didn't need it, I'd probably just give it to him to shut him up so I could go on my way because I don't value the money. But if I needed the money, and I would just go, hey, I'm broke. Shuts a salesman and a pitchman up right in the first two sentences. They'll walk away from you. I don't have any money.
Right.
Oh, got to go. Say, my train's coming. I'll see you later. But I don't know. It's like a roller coaster. I live this life. One day I feel this way about something, and the next day, for a few minutes, I feel a different way about it. It's hard to be consistent.
Okay.
Well, for me, I don't know. You don't seem to have a problem with it.
I'm fairly consistent, I think. Yeah.
Well, explanations, words. I play with words as kind of it gives me a giggle, and every once in a while I go too far and say something. Well, I didn't really mean it like that, but that's the way I said it, so I'm stuck with what I said.
Yeah, but I mean, you can always say that, again, that, well, I said that, but that's wasn't exactly what I meant.
And that's all of us, right? I think that I give the other guy the chance to be as wrong as me on occasion, but not the bankers or the lawyers or the politicians or the religious or the educators. Fuck them. They got a scam going on.
Yeah, they're all
But
right.
everybody else, we're just human. We're just trying to get through the day and, not do any of that horrible shit we see in the movies. Because I'm telling you, Grim, sometimes when I watch these kids on their cell phones, it's like that zombie shit on Netflix. They got all these zombie movies now. Mm-hmm. Mom Zombie. They got one with this little blonde Kiwi girl. she eats the brains and takes over the memories of the person she ate.
Nice.
It's so fucking entertaining. I could not think of something that good because it's so, like, I don't know, funny, ridiculous. I don't even know what category. It fits in a lot of categories at different times. But zombies, mombies, and the end of the world.
Mombies.
Yeah, they're what's her fucking name? She was a kid star. I can't think of what her name is. Silverstone? No.
Alicia Silverstone?
I don't know. It might be her, but she does. It's a girl and a guy, a real famous actress. It was on Netflix. And the woman is a zombie in the relationship. And she gets her non-zombie husband to help her murder people so she can eat them.
Oh, Drew Barrymore. I saw that.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. That was a horrible show.
Right. But what is the point behind all that?
I don't know. It was a horrible. I tried to watch it. It was like 6 episodes or something. And, and it was just like horrible. I couldn't watch it.
Okay. Well, okay, I understand that, but I had to watch it because it was so unfucking believable. Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. My theory about they take a disgusting, ridiculous thing and they make it normal. They put it in your face so much that after a while you just don't even notice it's there.
Right.
See, that's where I'm at with. I don't. It's so embedded in my brain thinking now. I don't even know that they're. Hey, mom zombie. Completely fucking ridiculous. Blah blah blah. But I had a few hours to kill, so I saw it. I saw worse movies than that. Trust me. Sometimes Sir comes home from work and
no
looks
doubt
at what I'm watching.
I mean, they're up to. What is it? Sharknado 4 now.
Oh wow! My nephew was making fun of me watching that.
They made Sharknado 1, and I watched that one. It was like really
terrible,
really. And then they came out with 2, and then 3, and now they've got Sharknado 4, and I'm sure number 5's in the works. And it's like, holy hell!
Okay, and what I seriously believe is that stuff that they make, it makes the death thing so over the top and typical and not important that you'll allow them willingly to operate on your mom with chemotherapy or treat your mom with chemotherapy. Not bat an eyelash. Oh, that's cool. Hey, mom might hang out another 5 years. Instead of seeing that, hey, wait a minute, you're not doing that to my mother. To, oh, okay, guys, this is cool. And it comes from that TV movie over and over, making the over the top the average.
Yeah, there's certainly a degree of that in there.
Well, there's not much difference between the zombie and the phone freak than except the eating the brains.
Now what, the phone freak?
Yeah, you know, the people that are constantly on their cell phones when they're out in public.
Oh, okay.
I could play that game if I wanted to. I don't do it. I will not. I even have a cell phone because I keep in touch with my mom and Cirque a little bit, but I won't carry it with me when I go out. So it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it's more like a landline with a battery.
So what's the point?
The point is, my mom's so blind she can't operate the internet anymore. So this works for her.
But why not just get a landline instead?
No, right. Because it would be just to talk to my mom. I already got it on the cell phone. So,
but how much is a cell phone? They charge you like crazy amounts per month on those, don't they?
No, right. No. This is I just got some old basic. It's very, very affordable. But to keep in touch with my mom, it's worth the trouble. Let's say that. But as far as expense, no. Because we're so connected now. If she could use the internet, I'd just Skype with her. But her eyes are gone. Yeah. So you pay the price. But rather than get the smartphone and be all updated and be able to do the RLM at the park, fuck all that shit, man. I'll just go home and do it on the computer where I can see the screen.
Right. Absolutely. I don't want no freaking cell phone following my ass around. What kind of bullshit is that? But
I don't know. I can't do it, but everybody else I know does. Because they're all in touch with their closer people. Like Cirque's got a nephew and a cousin that play on this WoW. They play WoW on the weekend sometimes.
And she plays that as well, right? That's her thing.
Oh yeah, shit. She's been playing her game online, and I've got my own game that I've been playing on from America that she doesn't play. So, but her nephew and her cousin, they all, the three of them work together as a team on da. But it's all based on the cell phone. The communication, blah blah blah, and then they get on the internet and they join forces. But I don't want to be that connected with people. I don't give a fuck about what's going on in the world. It's bullshit to me. I mean, not that Trump didn't flip-flop and, Syria is not taking an ass whipping, but not for the reasons that people believe that it's happening.
But Trump didn't flip-flop. He
Well,
said,
okay.
And I shared this on the Freakers Ball last night.
Yeah.
He said in one of his big top 10 campaign promises, he was going to bomb the fuck out of these various countries and take their oil. He promised to do that. That one of the things he said, and he talked specifically about Syria, that he was going to go over there, kick Assad's ass, and force him to hand over the oil. So he didn't.
I missed that episode.
And that's the thing is people didn't hear it, they didn't believe it. I don't know what the deal is, but he promised that's what he was going to do, was go over there and steal their shit.
Wow. Okay, you know what? I've known you long enough through this freaking RLM to trust that if that's the way you see it, it's probably the way it really is.
Well, you don't have to trust that's the way I see it. You have to read his own words on what he
said. Right. That's what I mean is you would not tell me something that you had not physically seen. I stay away from all that shit. I don't even open links anymore.
Well, there is a link, speaking of links, in the Freakers Ball podcast from last night. There's a link to that exact thing.
That's exactly what I mean, Grim, is I trust that if you would even speak about it, you've got the proof to show me, this is what came from. I've known you long enough to not even have to desire the proof. You know what I mean? If you tell me so, I can trust you. That's... I don't really want to know about wars and shit. I'm so tired of it all. Like Moose was, she was saying the other day. It makes you kind of feel bad inside that you're complicit to this because of where you're born. And but I don't know. I was going with the Hans. Hans was saying for months, if we get Trump in, there won't be a World War III. Well, there you go. That's what I get for trusting Hans.
Right.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, sure.
I made fun of Faggy Hands all the way, but I thought, well, who knows? Maybe he's right. But now, no. Even Hands can't defend this fucking clown. Another suit in the office. When are people going to get that? Like Moose, oh man, I know. I've listened to Moose say that so many times. I go, wow. They don't get it. They don't. And I don't want to be a they. I want to be a whatever that guy is.
Right.
Yeah, fitting in a group never pleased me much. I mean, I like being part of the RLM, society, but I like being a squeaky wheel in it where some people I don't agree with, and, I just ain't going to eat. I'm going to, in the future, not pay any attention to their unnecessary rants. But it's been fodder for a while, and I thought I pissed you off pretty much the other day, so I really didn't want to do that, That wasn't the goal. I was having fun, And I've got to learn to control that evil side of me that picks on people.
Oh, wait, you think you pissed me off?
No. I think that the bantering, the stupid shit me and Hans say back and forth pisses you off. Not mad. You're not mad at any one person. It's like, can't you fucking idiots just relax and have fun?
Oh, you didn't piss me off?
And okay,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I go in there and I remind people that there's some unwritten rule, I guess, that you're not supposed to use ad hoc attacks against another person. It's got nothing to do with what you're saying, the conversation you're having, what you're talking about. That's all fine. But once you start going over after somebody on a personal basis that adds nothing to the argument, saying, well, you're a this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's the point there. That's where you know you're ugly and your mother dresses you funny.
Yeah.
it's
Strategically, it's where you lose the argument is when you start calling a nigger. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, stupid? Yeah, I know. I do it too. Yeah. And I caught myself when you said that. And I went,
but it doesn't. I'm not pissed off. It's just a gentle, hey, get back to the. You know, if you want to discuss, debate, argue about something, do it.
Yeah.
But that's not helping.
I do it so rarely that I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
No, I don't argue with anyone. So I guess, I'm still that little kid deep down inside that just wants to throw some shit at the wall, see what the grown-ups will do. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I mean, people in Syria are getting bombed right now.
See,
and we're arguing, we're arguing about the definition of a word. I think we won.
And Sir could go there and type in this, Swahili or whatever it is, and she could be calling everybody a bunch of ignorant douchebags, and I would have no idea.
Cirque would never do that. I know it, you know what? And if you didn't know her, I know you do, but if you know Cirque, no, she's not like that.
No, I'm joking.
Nah. I know, but if you're reading the freaking German or fucking, it's German, I think she's writing. Even Sock's got comments, but well, not so much. I wasn't saying. Yeah, I guess I was, but I know better than the behavior I exhibit. But sometimes I'm just another putz, and I like to be an idiot.
Yeah.
I think that's the Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I mind myself in look at this. I got the fucking coffee, man. Thank you, Circles. Anyway, I try not to convince people I know anything. That's not the point. It's not what I know that's important. It's what I think. And if you think it too, well, hey, that gives us something to talk about. But if you don't think it and you think the opposite, it really just builds a wall right away that I should just ignore. But my, that devious side inside you that likes to start shit.
Yeah. Just
for entertainment. I got one, man.
just for entertainment, right?
Yeah, as soon as the computer's off, I'm on the next thing. I don't even fucking pay attention. But yeah, when it's happening, good Lord. Sometimes my wife just looks at me and shakes her head.
Yeah.
You didn't really say that, did you? Yep. Did you mean it? Now that's debatable. Because we're on the internet. Who knows? You might mean something you say for 10 minutes, and then on the 11th minute, you go, wait a minute. That doesn't really make sense, does it? Well, like, I could be a patriot and bomb the Muslims and make a ashtray out of the Middle East and all that.
Yeah. Where did Moose Girl go? Are you still out there, Moose? See,
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I figured you wandered off and.
No, just listening. You
Oh!
guys were talking, so.
Guess this is.
I don't get an opportunity like this to actually get you in this deep into a conversation. Usually say something and split. This time you decided to hang around. It was fun. I had a good time. Yeah. Oh. That's why I do this, because other people make me think of shit that I would never think of all by myself.
Well, I think that's how it works for everybody. You need to get some outside input in order to expand or alter your view of things.
Well, I don't know. It's only my view, and the only person I've got to really impress or displease with it is me. So I agree with you, but I think it's a very personal thing. And trying to explain to other people what you think or how you feel about something, you're really just mirroring them at some level, because it's a very selfish world, Grim. We're all in this to survive our life and try to get through it. See another day.
There's certainly a large degree of that.
Well, then there's some things like where you give up on one thing. I won't see this happen again. And you go, okay, so you put that out of your life, and then something else replaces it. For example, my brother's moving to England, and he wants to move my mom to England to finish her days there. And I thought, wow, that's what you call doing it.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of financial resource, but.
How old is Mom these days?
75.
Oh, she could have another while left yet there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she's in a wheelchair, so she doesn't walk anymore, and she's lost an eyesight. One eye's not working. So yeah, me and my brother, between the two of us, have managed to make it as comfortable for her as possible. And now he's decided to move to England again, so he's going to bring her down from Scotland and make it as comfortable as possible.
Sounds okay.
And wow, I'm not that selfless, man. Wow. I don't think I could do that. If I had the resources to do it, I don't think I'd do what he's planning to do. I'm just too selfish of a guy.
Well, yeah. I don't know. You might well do that. You don't know how your perspective would change if you had whatever equivalent resources that he has.
I don't know. We've debated my thing about trust with money. I'm pretty selfish. I think I'd stay where I am. I don't think it would influence me. I just send him a check and tell him to take care of it. I'm 57.
But the outcome is the same, right?
Well, no, because the company of my brother to his mother would make the world a difference.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, see that's he's closer to her than I am.
So you're talking about selfish on a personal level with your time and experience, rather than selfish on a financial level.
Yeah, no, money. I could give a fuck about the money. It's more that I want to spend my time with Cirque.
I don't blame you on that. I mean, I am also more that probably way than you are. I don't want anybody around. This is my time. This is my life. Don't be interfering.
Oh yeah.
Don't be interfering in what I want to do.
I understood. Yeah. Because I don't know, the Cirque thing was weird. I never met anybody like her.
But as far as
I don't know.
As far as money, who gives a shit? If I got enough to do what I want, the rest is to help other people out with. And
that's what my brother. Yeah, and that's what my brother in his older days. He's a year younger than I am. So in his life, he's grown to be what he is, and these are the decisions he's making for himself. But he's offering to help other people through it. And I thought, fuck. Man, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
No, and everybody that's involved in this that knows me knows. I would send them a check, but I would never show up physically, and they're okay with it. Whatever my life is become, my family is happy that I'm comfortable where I'm at, and they don't require me to travel to them anymore. Even my brother said he's good. I'm going to come to Copenhagen in June.
Okay, come on, but just don't bother me when you're here.
No, seriously, but he's accepted that I'm done traveling. I don't want to travel anymore. Everybody's clear on that. Me, the traveling guy, I traveled a lot, and they were like, "Wow, when are you gonna ever stop?" And now that I've stopped, my family, the close family, decided that it was for the better of everybody. So they're almost accommodating me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a visit from my brother from Minnesota to here instead of having to go back to America to do it. So I'm real happy about that.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Well, Cirque wouldn't want to go, so I'd have to. Oh, what a shithole that would be! And you can go see your brother, and I'd leave me here alone. I'm joking, honey. She would never say a thing like that. I was just playing. But my brother's not putting me in that position to have to choose. So I'm looking at I'm 57 now, so the end of my life is far better than the beginning ever was. The way things are unfolding.
Yeah, you haven't got there yet, so don't be counting them chickens.
No, but it does me good to feel good about other people's activities. Yeah. And especially when I'm not the one getting anything for it, they're just doing what they're doing, and I'm enjoying what they're doing. I kind of like that. Maybe it's something I learned from Cirque, watching the kid, but who knows?
Okay,
she's got a nephew.
This is your 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Did we yak that fucking long? Oh,
apparently.
Well, anyway, thanks a lot, Moose. I don't know.
You're welcome.
I guess we just stopped you from getting it, but it was nice to get a chance to chat with you, Grim.
Yeah, likewise. Fine. Yeah, it's all good.
You have a very interesting way of looking at things, and I find a lot of what you say I agree with, and I hope more people see what you see, and I hope they see it soon.
That'd be nice to me.
And oddly enough, it would be nice to them, but when you beat a dog every day of its life, and then that one day you don't beat it, the dog thinks something's wrong because you didn't hit it.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you convince people that that's what they know?
I don't know.
I don't either. I cannot find a nice way to put it.
Anyway, coming up later on this afternoon, you got Kira on the bridge in a couple hours.
Kira!
4 p.m. Eastern. Then you got Bo Diddy. Oh, wait. Then you got JJ's JJS 999 JJS at 6 p.m. Eastern, playing some tunes there. He plays some great stuff. You can make requests on his website. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, you'll have Bo Diddy playing some bodacious tunes. I'll be on tomorrow morning playing some blues there for y'all at noon Eastern. And then Hal Anthony comes on at 3 Eastern with Behind the Woodshed. And finally, wrapping up the Sunday is Gary Allen, Gigi's Boo with The Road Less Traveled. So I'm done. If you got anything else to...
Yep. Nope, I'm done. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Wow. So I'm sorry, Moose. I got drunk and just started jabbering with Grim.
All right.
Okay. Well, thanks for babysitting me on the Dork Table, you guys. You're the best.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.